Hi everyone. Welcome back to the class of Indian Writing in English. Today I introduce the first article, Speech at Mahal by B.R. Ambedkar from Module 2. Let's begin with B.R. Ambedkar. A pioneering social reformer, jurist, economist, author, polyglot orator, scholar of comparative religions and thinker, Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, the principal architect of Indian Constitution and independent India's first law minister, was a multifaceted man who remapped the frontiers of human achievement by his sheer tenacity, perseverance, and the will to excel against all odds. Babasaheb, as he was fondly called by friends, admirers, and followers, braved the walls of prejudice and caste discrimination in early 20th century India to emerge as an exemplar and an unflinching crusader against the inequities of caste system and socio-economic deprivation that afflicted millions of Indians. His life is an inspirational story of achievements, despite trying circumstances and the indomitable will to move beyond individual strife for the larger cause of social justice and national renaissance. His works, Castes in India, their mechanism, genesis, and development, and 11 other essays on untouchables and untouchability. The untouchable, who were they and why they became untouchables. The annihilation of caste, the Buddha and his Dharma, etc., are a few of his collected writings and speeches. It's the right time to watch a video of Ambedkar's biography. I hope it will be very helpful for you.
Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, the father of the Indian Constitution. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar was born on 14th April 1891 in Mahal, Madhya Pradesh. His childhood name was Bhimrao. His father's name was Ramji Sakpal and his mother's name was Bhimabai Sakpal. His father was a Subedar in the British Army. In those days, the government ensured that all the army personnel and their children were educated, and they ran special schools for this purpose. This ensured good education for Bhimrao. After his retirement, Bhimrao's father settled in Satara, Maharashtra. Bhimrao was enrolled in a local school. He was an intelligent and hard-working student. But as he was born as Shudras, meaning untouchable, he experienced caste discrimination right from his childhood. In school, he had to sit on the floor in one corner of the classroom. "Hey, look at him! Ha 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 ha!" The teachers would not touch his notebooks. "Sir, can you please check my homework?" "No, not now." Upper caste students would not talk, study, or even play with him. "Can I play with you?" "Go away. We don't want to play with you." He was also not allowed to drink water from the vessel used by the upper class students. "Hey, what are you doing? You cannot drink water from this glass." Despite many difficulties, young Bhimrao never lost heart. By the quality of his hard work, determination, and commitment, he earned several scholarships to support his education. His teacher gave him the surname Ambedkar in school records. In 1906, when he was just 15 years old, he got married to Ramabai, who was just 9 years old at that time. Bhimrao continued his studies and passed his matriculation exam from Bombay University with flying colors in 1908. He joined the Elphinstone College for further education. In 1912, he graduated in political science and economics from the Bombay University and got a job in Baroda. During a public ceremony, Dada Keluskar gifted him biography of Buddha. Here, this is a small gift for you. What is it, sir? It is the biography of Buddha. It will guide you to lead a successful life. In 1913, Bhimrao Ambedkar lost his father. In the same year, Maharaja of Baroda awarded scholarship to Bhimrao Ambedkar and sent him to America for further studies. Bhimrao reached New York in July 1913. For the first time in his life, Bhimrao was not demeaned for being a Mahar. He immersed himself in studies and received a degree in Master of Arts and a doctorate in philosophy from Columbia University in 1916 for his thesis National Dividend for India, a historical and analytical study. From America, Dr. Ambedkar proceeded to London to study economics and political science. But the Baroda government terminated his scholarship and called him back. The Maharaja of Baroda appointed Dr. Ambedkar as his political secretary, but no one would take orders from him because he was a Mahar. Sir, please read this document and sign. Who are you to give me orders? I will not sign it. Bhimrao Ambedkar returned to Bombay in November 1917. With the help of Shahu Maharaj of Kolhapur, he started a fortnightly newspaper, the Mukh Nayak, on January 31, 1920. The Maharaja also organized many meetings and conferences of the untouchables, which Bhimrao addressed. My friends, we will not suffer anymore. We will fight this battle together. In September 1920, after accumulating sufficient funds, Ambedkar went back to London to complete his studies. He became a barrister and got a doctorate in science. While practicing law in the Bombay High Court, he tried to promote education to untouchables and uplift them. During that period, Shudras were not allowed to drink water used by the upper caste people and were also not allowed to enter the temples. In 1927, Babasaheb Ambedkar had decided to launch an active movement against untouchability. He began with public marches to open up public drinking water resources and led a satyagraha in Mahal. The public drinking water should be made open to all. We will not suffer anymore. He also began the struggle for the right to enter the temples and led Kalaram Temple Satyagraha in Nasik. Even we have the right to enter the temples. Let us fight this together. Dr. Ambedkar attended all the 3 round-table conferences in London and forcefully argued for the welfare of the untouchables. In 1937, Dr. Ambedkar introduced a bill to abolish the Khoti system of land tenure in Konkan region and the Mahar, Vatan system of working for the government as slaves. A clause of the agrarian bill referred to the depressed classes as Harijans or people of God. Bhimrao strongly opposed to this title for the untouchables, but the Indian National Congress succeeded in introducing the term Harijan. Ambedkar felt bitter that he could not have any say in what they were called. In 1947, when India became independent, the first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, invited Bhimrao Ambedkar, who had been elected as a member of the Constituent Assembly from Bengal, to join his cabinet as a law minister. He was then appointed as the chairman of the Constitution Drafting Committee, and he became the chief architect of the Indian Constitution. In February 1948, Dr. Ambedkar presented the draft constitution before the people of India, and it was adopted on November 26, 1949. He lost his 4 children and his wife Rama, but he never stopped working for the nation. On 14th October 1956, he and his second wife Savita Ambedkar converted themselves to Buddhism at Diksha Bhumi in Nagpur. He proceeded to convert about 5 lakh of his supporters to Buddhism. After the completion of his book Buddha and his Dhamma, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar died on 6th December 1956 at his home in New Delhi. That day is called Mahaparinirvan Din, which is considered as one of the saddest days for the nation. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar will always be alive in our thoughts.
Now we are going through the speech at Mahal by B.R. Ambedkar. So I wish to give a brief introduction on the Dalit movement of Mahal. The Mahal Satyagraha was held to claim the right of the Dalits to draw water from Chavadar Lake at Mahal, Maharashtra. Even though the Mahal municipality had already lifted the ban on untouchables to use the lake, they couldn't exercise their right owing to the hostility of caste Hindus. Therefore, the Kolaba district depressed classes decided to hold a conference at Mahal on March 19 and 20 in 1927. About 10,000 delegates, young and old, workers and leaders from the depressed class of Gujarat and Maharashtra attended the conference. Ambedkar then delivered a message to his people which echoed throughout the hills, dales and villages of Maharashtra. He spoke about the education of Dalits and the need to attain self-elevation through self-help, self-respect and self-knowledge. On 20th March 1927, Ambedkar and the gathered mob paraded through the roads of Mahal to the Chavadar lake. All of them drank water from the lake and asserted their right. 2 hours later, a riot broke out following a rumor that Ambedkar and his followers were also planning to enter a Hindu temple in the town. The caste Hindus argued that untouchables polluted the tank by taking water from it, and they were attacked and injured. The Mahal Satyagraha is regarded as a turning point in the history of Dalit movement, and the speech at Mahal in particular was clear call for the downtrodden or oppressed people defeated by the dominance of Hindu casteist society to come together and do away with the danger of casteist system prevalent of India. 25th December 1927 is a watershed in the history of the Dalit movement. On this day, Dr. Ambedkar began an agitation or anxiety by the Dalits to draw water from the Chavadar lake at Mahal. The water of this lake was earlier to reserved for caste Hindus. The Manusmriti was burned here as a mark of Dalit protest against untouchability. The following is the historic speech made by Dr. Ambedkar on this occasion. The Mahal movement, 19th March to 25th December 1927. A movement that broke the unjust laws of Brahmanical Hindu society. A movement that voiced millennia-old concerns. A movement that started the continued for the liberation of India's Bahujans. It established a right, human right for human dignity, untouchability. It fought against the evil practice of untouchability and caste tyranny. Water, a basic necessity for survival. The Dalits were denied drinking water from the common water tank at Mahal, Maharashtra. For years and years and years, the Brahmin scriptures prohibited them, scared them. In 1926, the water tank was opened for Dalits, but owing to the hostility of caste Hindus, they did not exercise their right. Even the government servants from untouchable castes who were posted at Mahal were denied access. In March 1927, the Dalits decided to march to Mahal to assert their right to drink water. Under the leadership of Babasaheb Dr. Ambedkar, they decided to hold a conference at Mahal to establish confidence and courage among community members. Almost 1,000 people from all corners of Maharashtra and certain parts of Gujarat trekked miles and miles to reach the destination and stayed there for 2 days. The Mahal fight was against the inhuman, unjust, illegal and barbaric practice of caste. The Dalits were fighting against inhuman treatment meted out to them. Let's begin the speech. Ambedkar began his speech by addressing the audience. He declared that the meeting was held by Satyagraha Committee. As the chairman of the committee, he welcomed the audience. He reminded them on the 19th of last March, they came to the Chavadar lake. The caste Hindu had no banning on them, but they showed their objections towards them. So the fight brought an unexpected result. The aggressive caste Hindus were sentenced to 4 months severe imprisonment. If they had not been restricted on 19th March and had accepted their right to take water from the lake, they should have had no need to start the present risky journey. Ambedkar revealed the reason for this meeting and also this movement. Unfortunately, they were restricted by them. so they have been compelled to call the meeting. He reminded them the lake at Mahal is public property. The caste Hindu of Mahal freely permit the people except lower class to take the water from the lake at Mahal. They allow Islamic birds and animals to take the water. Caste Hindus are the very source of sympathy or compassion. They do not practice himsa or harm and harass. They are not cheap and selfish. They don't hate or grudge even a crow takes the grains from their food. We can see that proliferation or rapid increase of sannyasis and mendicants or beggars. They are living with harmony. They think altruism or selflessness is a religious merit. They also know injury to others as a sin. They have imbibed or absorbed knowledge that the injury done by another must not be repaid. They do not encourage revenge. They know that we should be ready to forgive. They treat the harmless cow with the kindness. At the same time, they treat the harmful creatures like snake with the same kindness. They believe that Atman or spiritual self live in all creatures. Then why does the caste Hindus ban some of their own religion to take the water from the Chavadar lake? Why do they avoid them? He reminds them that it is important all should understand thoroughly the answer to this question. The Hindus are divided according to sacred tradition into 4 castes, but according to custom into 5: Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras and Adishudras. The caste system is the first of the governing rules of the Hindu religion. The second is that the castes are of unequal rank. They are ordered in descending series. Descending means bigger to small. I think this is enough for today's class. You don't forget to read the chapter. Take care. Stay safe. Thank you.